evening. So, I got off of work, came home, showered and everything, and took my baby for a walk, and we went to Crab Park. And there's this lady who was walking, looked like she was leaving as I was getting into the park, and she's looking for this vigil for Natanis Meracity. So I walked around with her to look for it. We talked, and we ended up finding the vigil. They had the candles, and that's where the sage was coming from. And then we were talking, about missing, murdered women, people, everyone, but right now I want to specifically talk about the natives. And as I was sitting there, I was sharing how I felt about it, I was sad, but I also felt angry. More angry at the natives than anyone else, because we're the problems. If you stop and think, hey, why is all our people going missing? Maybe you would realize that a lot of you natives mistreat us. You treat us bad, and we have no places to go. Therefore, we're forced out into this world, or we're forced into the arms of the wrong people that do this stuff to us. I come from that. When I left my ex back in 2020, I went home and I experienced it. I experienced it all. I moved in with my grandma, and I thought, oh, it's gonna, whatever. They told me come home, they'll help me. And I move in there, and she allowed my auntie to start disrespecting me. She started allowing my aunties to disrespect me. She started disrespecting me. She started allowing my cousins to disrespect me. And then I just got to the point, because I was going through a 5.5-year breakup. I was going through all of this. My whole life was just turned around, and you guys want to do this to me? It pushed me. I went there sober. And I didn't care after a while. I started drinking and doing the drugs, and then I started hanging out with the wrong people. And then I was hanging out with this other girl, and she was telling me the only reason why she's in this type of stuff is because she has nowhere to go. Because her family mistreats her and they push us away. And that's what my family done. I left my grandma's, I went to a different house. I kept jumping from house to house, and they kept disrespecting me. And then I ended up at my mom's. She allowed me to come in there, and I started kicking everyone away. Everyone away that did those drugs and stuff. But because my sisters and them stopped giving them money, they stopped standing up for me, and they stopped allowing me to do that. And it got to the point where I had to leave, because my brother even pointed a gun at my head, drunk. So it got to the point where I didn't even feel safe, where even my young sister was throwing knives and stuff. They didn't care. They were trying to kill me. So tell me, I came out here to get away from that so I can heal, and I almost went missing? Where are we supposed to go when you guys do this to us? Huh? When you mistreat us and you do all this, we're in a situation, you guys take advantage and just put your anger out and just mistreat us and your insecurities. And then we get pushed out into the world and we go missing, or we end up with the wrong people, we end up killed. You guys are the problem. Dude, I went to this reserve here, Tessina, the one here, I forgot how you pronounce it. It's just across the ocean on the other side, the North Shore. And guess what? They have an apartment for single people that have nowhere to go. So when stuff like this happens, they have a place to put their people. What do we got? We got chief and councils stealing our money, taking everything. We got people working in our offices or working these positions that start blackmailing people. For crying out loud, when I was working in Saskatchewan to get that janitor job, they told me to stop talking about the chief and council and what they're doing. So they blackmailed me into getting a job and told me to keep quiet or I can't work. You see what we have to go through? You see what pushes us out of this res? We natives are the problem. If there's a reason why there's a lot of missing murdered Indigenous natives out there, it's because you are the problem. Stop and realize, did you make it safe for them? Or did you push them away? Or now you just want to speak up to feel like you're part of something. In reality, you're the one that probably pushed them away. So I'm very sad that this happened to Natanis Moracity. But they even told me too, she came from the cycle. Her mom and them were an addict. You see how the cycle works? And then that happened. We're the problems. And then we want to go out there crying around about the people that we hurt and pushed away when they go missing or get killed. You all need to stop and figure out why they continue to be pushed out into these positions, why they're pushed into the wrong arms. My grandma, my aunties and them, if I went because I almost went missing, they would be the ones to blame my family, all back in Saskatchewan, all of Soto and Moosomin, all of them would be the ones to blame if I went missing. Because they didn't do anything to protect me or help me. They pushed me away. They hurt me. They allowed people to shoot at me and do all these bad things to me. And just because I stood up to them too. So stop, everyone. And start loving your people and give them a reason to stay so they don't go missing. Have a good evening.